All right, so we're gonna test this stuff out. So I just got a mount for the car to hold my phone so that I can record while I'm driving. And this is to try to prove to a lot of people that I have no time. I am constantly going somewhere, either at school, at work, taking care of my kids, doing something. Got a little bit of bounce there, sorry about that. But I'm constantly going somewhere. So it's a little 5-minute video for today while I drive to work. So I got into a conversation with a developer yesterday over Skype, and I don't want to talk too much about what, who the developer was or whatever, because I don't have the permission to do that. But anyway, just discussing the genre of games that are survival games. And right now that's all they're called. They're called survival games, but really there's got to be a different title for these games, because there's some survival games out there that you can't host. So the games that me and this developer were talking about were games that were designed and released specifically with hosting functionality at its core. So this is like Rust, Ark Survival Evolved, 7 Days to Die, Reign of Kings, hell, even Minecraft for that matter. These games, and what we were talking about was how frustrating it is that really the community servers make up about, I would be willing to say, 85% at least of the community servers, privately owned servers, make up 85% of the environments that all the players are playing in. So what I mean by that is like, Ark Survival Evolved is a good example. It's one of the newer games that's out. It has over 15,000 community servers that are launched. The average server population for those, though, are probably about five players per. And that's got some things to do with like optimization of the game code itself and and whatnot. But still, there's 15,000 servers. Now I want the developers, if like, Wildcard ever gets a chance to watch this, I want you to stop and think about that for a second. 15,000 servers that are providing the playing area, the electricity, all the equipment, everything to host your game that you created so that people will purchase it and play. Now, I'm not asking for any kind of financial kickback from game developers for this. I'm not. But what I think should happen is that, hosts such as myself and anybody, any of the 15,000 people that are out there hosting Ark, are really kind of treated like the bastard stepchild. I mean, we don't have modding API. We don't even have server management, GUIs to be able to manage the servers. I mean, Ark took, I think, 4 months to get a remote console port put in so that you were able to be able to even remote in and take care of your servers. And and as far as like support, just support from game developers, you know, direct support. And I'm not talking about like I post something on your forum and then maybe or maybe not you get around to it, you know. And don't get me started on like these pseudo private testing groups and whatnot, because that is just a bunch of circus acts anyway. What I'm talking about is actual, heartfelt, to the point, and effective, you know, collaboration between the hosts and the game developers, so that we as hosts can promote the best environments to support your game, the thing that you're making the money off of. You know, because without those 15,000 other hosts, you wouldn't really have the player base that you have, and in turn wouldn't have the finances that you have. And you can make the argument that you just open up more servers and things like that, and then my argument would always be, then why don't you? I mean, if you could do it on your own, then why do you even release the code? You know, like Minecraft was smart because they set up the Minecraft realms, right? So they set up Minecraft realms where they can start making some revenue off of that. And you might want to take and, you know, stop and think about that, because it probably would be a perfect thing for Ark Survival Evolved to do, because you really need some beastly hardware to be able to handle a server of any population size, really, at all. But I'm getting distracted here. So we were just discussing how annoying it is, how absolutely annoying it is that you know, it just kind of feels like we're just thrown out here on our own, you know. And it really should be more of a focus, you know. You don't need to ask the host how, you know, you need to do your game, but you should probably, you know, discuss, you know, with the host what's working, what's not working, how can we make the experience better, smoother, so that our game is hosted on what is hopefully one of the best environments. That's my suggestion. I know that over the summer, and I'm going to be very clear about this, I know nothing about game development. That is what I'm going to school for, you know, but I don't, if you asked me to code you Tetris, I might be able to do it, and that's about it. So, my point is, over the summer I am going to be working with the Unreal Engine. I am going to be working with Voxel Farm, hopefully. I'm going to be working with, I'd love to work with Maya, but it's just so damn expensive. I'm going to end up using Blender, which is still good. Blender's good too. But I'm going to use Blender, and I'm going to try to put together a little module. I kind of, it's not a mod of a game. It's going to be my code. I'm going to put everything together, but it's going to, I don't want to call it a game because it's going to be so damn small, you know, just a test, just a little proof of concept. But I can tell you one thing that I am going to focus on, and that one thing that I'm going to focus on is all the things I talked about in this video. Making sure that there's, you know, some sort of an API to be able to easily do some modding options. Make sure that I've got in, you know, a server management console of some kind. Make sure Archon ports are already set in, you know, so all that stuff's done. That's important. I mean, that's important that all that's done. You know, I really want to look at and making sure that all those things are done, so I can communicate really well with, if I get a community that's going to follow the game, or me, or how I'm developing things, or whatever. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we can set and say we're going to make games that we want to make until we're blue in the face. But if we don't make games that other people want to play, and if we don't want to do hostable games and make games that people want to host, kind of chasing our tail. So I just wanted to take a minute to discuss that. 7 Days to Die, Fun Pimps, Wild Card with Ark Survival Evolved. Mojang, you do a pretty good job. You do okay. You do. I mean, you have to, right? $2.6 billion to sell his studio. But Minecraft does okay. Yeah, so we want to get involved. Ask and recognize the fact that the hosting community, the gaming community, is helping to promote your games. And, ask them what it is that they need. I'm harping on Ark right now, and I don't want a bunch of people freaking flaming down in the comments because they think that I don't like Ark. I do. I like Ark. I really like Ark. I think it's one of the greatest games that's been released in I don't know how long. But the fact still remains. Ark Server Launcher sucks. It was great when it first started, and then it's like abandonware. Nobody's taking care of it anymore. It's important that gets taken care of. So game developers, please, just take a minute, recognize, that the hosting community is doing a big service, and make that part of your game plan so that we can help see you be successful, because gaming is what we do. It's what we love. Until next time, see ya.